Straight ahead on CCX News, speakers fill a New Hope City Council meeting, urging the city to fire one of its officers. Plus, paying for improvements at one of Plymouth's most heavily used facilities. The city has a plan. But first, a pedestrian in Plymouth fatally struck from behind by a vehicle on a sidewalk. CCX News starts right now.
Hello everyone and thanks for joining us. Plymouth police are investigating a crash that killed a pedestrian.
Police say it happened in the 700 block of County Road 101 about 6 o'clock Monday evening. A 56-year-old woman was walking on the sidewalk when she was struck from behind. Her name has not yet been released. Police say a car jumped the curb and struck the woman, then it crossed the road and damaged a sign owned by a church. The driver, a 56-year-old woman from Medina, was arrested and taken to jail on suspicion of criminal vehicular homicide. The results of a blood test are pending.
In New Hope, people showed up at Monday night's council meeting urging the city to fire one of its officers. This Facebook video, taken by a Metro Transit rider last month, shows Officer Andy Lammers asking a rider who didn't pay a fare if he was in the country illegally. It's an incident that has raised concerns about authorities overstepping bounds. Lammers was working part-time for Metro Transit. He has since resigned from that duty. Lammers, seen in a 2007 video training in a police dog, remains employed by the New Hope Police Department, where he still works full-time. During Monday's council meeting, speakers believed keeping him with the city would diminish public trust in New Hope's police force.
We recognize that that didn't happen in New Hope, but he left that position, and just because he left that position doesn't mean he left who he is. He is still that same person, and now he is in New Hope full-time, and was before, and is engaging in conduct that's unacceptable.
Lammers was recognized in 2012 for helping to save a woman's life after she crashed her vehicle into a drainage pond. As for the rider that Lammers had questioned, his attorney says he didn't have any money to pay the fare because he had just been robbed at knife point. She also says Lammers tased her client for not paying the fare. The rider is currently in the custody of immigration officials awaiting possible deportation to Mexico.
The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, meanwhile, is urging people with an active arrest warrant to turn themselves in. On Wednesday, sheriff's deputies and more than 18 other law enforcement agencies throughout Hennepin County will be conducting a warrant sweep. This year's warrant sweep is focused on drug-related warrants due to the record number of opioid-related deaths last year.
Hennepin County officials have approved a transportation sales tax increase, but not without debate. The sales tax will increase by 1/4 cent to pay for ongoing transit costs and light rail projects. It will also add a wheelage tax of $20 a year per car in Hennepin County. Two commissioners from the Northwest Metro voted against the increases for different reasons. Jeff Johnson believes light rail doesn't reduce congestion and serves only a small percentage of commuters. Mike Opat supports light rail but voted no on the tax because he says there is no protection that light rail will be built in the Northwest Metro in a timely fashion. The tax increases take effect October 1st. Well, the Plymouth Ice Center has had no success getting bond money from the state of Minnesota.
But renovation and improvements to the facility are going on anyway. We get more from Eric Nelson, who joins us now. Eric?
Yeah, Alex and Mike, arenas and stadiums age in dog years, and the Plymouth Ice Center is no different. When the venue opened 20 years ago, it was state-of-the-art. Today, it is outdated. Currently, the Ice Center is getting a major makeover. It's all part of a 3-year renovation that is being paid for by user fees and reserve funds.
We've got a beautiful asset here. We have tournaments coming up, and it just needs a little bit of upgrade, and we're serious about taking care of that valuable asset. And not only that, but enhancing what we do here, getting more tournaments, generating more business for the community, and so forth.
Things are heating up inside the Ice Center these days as construction crews are busy fixing up the facility. The arena has 3 rinks and the main sheet is undergoing serious cosmetic changes. The old sand floor will soon be replaced by concrete, and the venue is going to use ammonia-based refrigerant instead of Freon for ice coolant. These moves will save energy and money long term. The facility currently pays $1,000 a month in utility bills. The Ice Center is also switching from Olympic-size rinks to professional ice sheets, which are 15 feet smaller in width.
The demand to skate on a professional ice sheet is great, and to skate on an Olympic ice sheet, the adults don't like it, the youth don't like it, the children do not like it, so it's used much, much less. When we host tournaments, everyone tries to shy away from the Olympic as much as possible. We have 3 ice sheets.
Now Plymouth has submitted a final bonding request for $1.3 million, but no matter what happens, the target completion date for the Ice Center is in late September. Alex and Mike.
All right, thank you. Well, school's out, and that means some low-income children might not receive nutritious meals that they're accustomed to getting during the school year.
But as Sonia Goins reports, the Hopkins School District is making it easier for children to get free food this summer.
How you doing today?
It's not the ice cream truck, but just as popular.
When we first started out with the food truck, we were probably serving about 50 to 60 lunches a day. Now we're pretty close to 100 on a regular basis, sometimes as many as 120 kids.
Some families can't get to food sites, so the Hopkins School District decided to bring the food to them.
We've got barbecue chicken legs served with cornbread, and then we also obviously have fruit and vegetable and milk along with it.
Did you eat yesterday?
Children ages 1 to 18 years old can get free lunch from the food truck.
The cornbread, the carrots and peas, and the blueberries, and of course cheddar milk.
The chicken looks good, and the raspberry, and of course you need some milk.
The summer food truck started 4 years ago.
You like carrots and peas?
The district received donations from Second Harvest Heartland to retrofit the truck.
Have a good day, enjoy.
Since that time, demand and service have increased.
Put some more vegetables out.
There are now 3 stops in the district: Cottageville Park, Oaks Park, and Valley Park.
Chicken leg or a cheese sandwich?
The truck makes stops in areas where there's a high concentration of poverty. 38% of students in the district qualify for free or reduced lunch.
Sometimes they don't have dinner at home, they don't have a lot to eat on the weekends. So we know that they get a lot of their meals from the school lunch and breakfast programs.
I'm really glad that they're doing it in this area because they have a lot of free lunches at our school in the neighborhood, and so it's hard on people in the summer.
All right.
The grub is also good, made from scratch. Officials say the community and school district win when children can keep their bellies full during the summer.
You got it.
I like all the blueberries and all the yummy food and stuff. It's really good.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The Hopkins School District also provides 150 bag lunches to an IOCP program in Plymouth. There are a number of free summer programs in the Northwest Metro, and we have some of those listed on our website. It's ccxmedia.org. Still ahead on CCX News, the new high-tech tool a clinic in Maple Grove is using to prevent sports injuries. That's next in Health Check.
Plus, later in sports, we preview the state baseball tournament, including our look at the Champlin Park Rebels.
But first, still sticky and a chance for more thunderstorms on Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Well, it's one of the fastest growing sports in the country and one of the sports of choice by baby boomers, and that sport is pickleball, and it's why you will see additions coming soon to Norwood Park and Brooklyn Park. City Council has approved building 6 additional pickleball courts at Norwood Park, which is already home to some pickleball courts. There are 2 outdoor locations in Brooklyn Park that host pickleball, Norwood and Bass Creek Parks. The game of golf may not be as physical a sport as football or hockey, but even casual golfers can sustain injuries.
The explosive nature of the golf swing can put a tremendous amount of stress on the body and can lead to injuries in the back, neck, and hip. In today's Health Check, Delane Cleveland shows us how a local clinic is helping golfers prevent those injuries.
So we've been open at this location since last December.
If you're visiting the Park Nicollet Rehab Services Center in Maple Grove,
we still continue to see patients of all ages, sizes.
Chances are that you've suffered some sort of sports injury.
For the most part, the patients that we see here are either coming off of a surgery or do have some sort of background injury that brings them in. I'm going to start the recording here. I'm going to have you hit about 3 balls.
Okay. Luke Dufert is a physical therapist, and he says that among all of the equipment they use in the clinic to treat injuries, they have a program available for people, especially golfers, to help prevent injuries using a little modern technology.
The program that we use is SIMI. It's a two-dimensional camera analysis program. Allows us to slow things down to about 120 frames per second, so it really gives us an in-depth, a really close-up view of the golf swing. I want you to bring your arm.
He took us through a demonstration using Park Nicolet's spokesman, Patrick Strait.
I'm looking for the quality of Patrick's movement.
After going through an initial screening to analyze Patrick's range of motion,
excellent.
Luke has Patrick take a few golf swings. All the while, cameras capture his every move.
Right about there.
Afterwards, they're able to go through the video in slow motion to critique his swing in a way they couldn't do with the naked eye.
Number one, we're absolutely looking to make sure that somebody isn't doing something to set themselves up for injury.
This analysis found that Patrick doesn't have good hip rotation, among other things.
To get your hip mobility better.
And while it's not Luke's job to help Patrick master the perfect swing, what he can do is set Patrick up with the knowledge to help him have success and fewer injuries in the long run.
We're not going to make you try to have your swing look like Rory McIlroy or look like Sergio Garcia. You're going to try to swing the way that your body allows you to.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The program isn't just limited to golfers. The clinic can also analyze movements associated with baseball, softball, tennis, and running, among other sports. Still ahead, a Brooklyn Park treasure hunter who is several $100s richer.
But first, local golf teams tee it up at the state golf tournament. John Jacobson has a recap next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. For the second consecutive season, the state Class 4A baseball tournament includes 3 teams from our area. Jay Wilcox has more on one of those squads, the Champlin Park Rebels.
The 2016 Champlin Park baseball team reached the state final for the first time ever. After graduating 14 seniors and returning just 2 starters, they're back at state with a mostly new group. It says a lot about the program.
Nobody believed in us this year, losing 14 seniors last year and kind of spots to fill this year, questions everywhere, but everybody stepped up, everybody's produced, and it's been a lot of fun.
The last year's group kind of set the pace for this group, and they got off to a good start this season. And anytime you can get back to the state tournament, it's a huge deal. I mean, this is the 4th time I think in 25 years that the school's gotten back there, so it's something that we don't take for granted, and we're real happy to be there.
The Rebels won 2-1 in 10 innings against Moundsview in the Section 5 4A final after edging Centennial 1-0 in the previous round. Those tight, low-scoring, pressure-packed games should help them be prepared for the state tournament.
Yeah, because, every mistake is, amplified, and you need to be sharp 100% of the time because any mistake you make will be capitalized on.
Same with the pitching in sections, too. We're going to see some good pitchers. All teams have very good pitching. Same with Centennial and Moundsview, they had pitching. And along with us, we have pitching as well with Max and Michael and Cole and Brady. We got a whole list of people that can come in and shut the door.
No team in the Class 4A tournament field has fewer than 5 losses. Champlin Park is 17-5. There is no clear favorite, and the Rebels believe they have as good a chance as anyone.
Everybody's record's pretty much the same. There's no one-loss team or anything, so it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I wouldn't say there's a favorite. I mean, those 3 teams that didn't get seeded all could have been seeded, so I think it's very even this year and it'll be a lot of fun.
Champlin Park meets Woodbury in the quarterfinals in a rematch from the semis last season. The Rebels hope it's the start of a memorable trip to state. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The Rebels and their quarterfinal opponent, Woodbury, each won their section tournaments at CHS Field, the site for the first 2 rounds of the state tournament. Class 4A tournament features what should be 4 pretty good opening round games Thursday. Top seed Wayzata meets Lake Conference rival Eden Prairie in the first game at 10 a.m. Then it's Burnsville against Lakeville North. Maple Grove takes on number 2 seed Forest Lake at 3 o'clock, with Champlin Park and Woodbury meeting at 5:30 at CHS Field. The semifinals are Friday at noon and 2:30. The state boys and girls lacrosse tournaments are underway. The boys quarterfinals are in Chanhassen, the girls at Minnetonka High School. In the boys tourney, a big win for Wayzata as the Trojans knock off second seed Eden Prairie 6-5 after losing to the Eagles twice during the season. Dalton Seas has 3 goals and Braden Nelson 2 for the Trojans. Benilde, the number 3 seed, had little trouble with Anoka winning 17-4. That sets up a semifinal matchup between the Trojans and Red Knights Thursday at 3 p.m. at Minnetonka. The news isn't as good for the Maple Grove girls as they fall 16-6 to second seed Prior Lake in the quarterfinals. Emily Herdine had 5 of the 6 goals for the Crimson. They play Cretin-Derham Hall in the consolation semifinals Thursday. In addition to lacrosse and baseball, it's state tournament week for high school golf, too. The 2-day 36-hole tournaments are at 3 different venues in the greater metro area. Class 3A at Bunker Hills. Wayzata is in the boys team competition. On the East course, number 5, Wayzata's Ben Frassini with a birdie putt. He shoots a 71. He's in second place. Ian Mackenzie Olson comes up with a nice tee shot here on the par 3 East, number 7 for the Trojans. Olson 2 putts from there, and he shoots a 77. Back to East, number 5, Wayzata's Tristan Nelkel slightly misreads the long putt for birdie, but that sets up another par, and he cards a 78. On the par 4 East course, number 9, Maple Grove's Dylan Hansen. He's tied with Champlin Park's Michael Sorrow for 15th with a 74. Wayzata as a team is in second place, I should say, 4 shots behind Minnetonka. The girls are on the course at this taping of CCX News, and day 2 is on Wednesday. And that is a look at sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Up next, the search is over for Brooklyn Park's elusive potato.
How the case of the golden spud was solved when we come back. And finally, after just 2 clues, the contest to find Brooklyn Park's golden spud is complete.
Tom Lawninger won the search and the prize money with a little persistence and a little help from his family.
Came around here and I kind of stopped and I had to back up a little bit because there was something underneath that one boulder there, and I looked at it and it says, "Tom, I think you found it."
And indeed he did. Tom spotted the golden spud at Founders Park off Noble Parkway. Tom and his family had searched for the golden potato earlier in the week, but Tom went out by himself on Saturday because his family thought it was too hot. Still, they shared search ideas on a family blog, which made the hunt fun.
I think it was just to get together with the family and do something with the grandkids and just the excitement on their face, trying to, like a treasure hunt, you know, we're gonna find that spud, you know, that golden spud.
And get this, Tom wins $400 for finding the spud. He plans to take his whole family out for dinner with the prize winnings.
Ought to be a good dinner, and
yes.
Good for him after just 2 clues.
2 clues. They knew it was in the northern part, and there he went and got it. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again Wednesday, starting at 4.